Hi, hello, how are you? And welcome back to another video. I have been trying to do this video for like 3 weeks. And then I went back to school. I'm in grad school, if you guys didn't know. And while I'm so busy. But then I was gonna do it, and then guess what happened? Guess what happened? There was a hurricane. So things got even more busy because we had to like figure out what was happening with our lives and the ocean and all of these things. Luckily, I am in a part of the world that did not get the worst of the hurricane. I am grateful for that, obviously. But now that the hurricane's gone and all of my plants are back outside and the sun is shining, I got to sit down and build something. And this is a build I've been planning to do since mosquito stuff came out. This is like my mosquito build, kind of. Okay, let me just start with my inspiration for this. So, as you know, when they rebranded The Sims and they did all the new packaging and the new logo and colors and all these things, they also released a bunch of new Sims. And two of those Sims are Dela and Mia, our lovely little like artsy couple. And I was like, you know what I need? One, I need them in my world. Like they need to be in my save. No questions asked. Like, why would they can't just sit in the gallery. I need them. And I was like, well, they should live together. I mean, well, they don't have to live together, but I want them to live together in my save. And so I was like, well, where would they live and what should I do with them? I was like, mosquito stuff has got me under control. Because I was thinking originally when I was going to do a build with the things that came with mosquito stuff, I was like, oh, I'll go into city living and that one kind of industrial penthouse apartment, I'll renovate that and it'll be great. But I was like, what if I build a warehouse loft for Dela and Mia? And so that's what I did. And I love how this came out so much. Open spaces in The Sims freak me out because I never know how to fill them or furnish them because sometimes, it's just like when you have walls, you're like, okay, this is a bedroom and I have these walls to constrain what I can and cannot fit in here and all that. But I was building a warehouse and there aren't really walls in a warehouse. It's kind of the whole thing is big and open and you can store things. And so I built this huge studio with a little loft up top for them to live in. And you'll notice at the end that until the very end, I completely forgot to add a bathroom. So that's a thing. But I built this warehouse in the little residential area, the like basic residential area, not the like Hollywood Stars area of Del Sol Valley on that larger empty lot and just started with the warehouse shape and went from there. I wanted to make it, I don't know, I wanted it to have that warehouse character and I wanted it to stay industrial while also being a functioning studio space for them. So what you'll notice when we get to the inside is that there's a little loft and that's the bedroom area and it's an open bedroom. There's also a seating area up there. I made this weird little balcony and the reason that the balcony is only like a little like one square deep, a little wide is I was thinking of there are townhouses here where I live where there's a door that opens and it's not even a balcony. It's just a fence there so you can open the door and you're like, hello, I opened my door into the open air. But then there's a balcony so you don't fall to your death. And I was thinking of something similar to that, but obviously you can't just put the fence in front of the wall there because of how The Sims works. And so I was like, I'll give them a really narrow balcony. And then I added this little outcrop area that I imagine would be one renovation, one thing that they added to the building maybe, where I put their kitchen. And I really like how that kitchen, it's the only place with like not these huge ceilings above it. I don't even know what to say. I love it so much. So what I did was you'll notice I didn't focus a lot on the bedroom space because for me building this warehouse, this was a creative space. Because if you read Dela and Mia's little bio things in the gallery, they're big on art. They do fashion, they do photography, they're like all about it. So I was like, this is a space where they live, but it's also a space where they work and where people will be coming in and out, like people they work with, some models and fashion designers and all these things. And so I was trying to think of what a working living space would look like. And so that's why, like, at the top of the loft, there's this little space. There's just one chair and then all these clothes. And I imagine that all of those clothes are things that they've collected, like some of their favorite picks from designers. And then there's another clothing rack downstairs in the shooting area that's like current picks, like things that they're shooting people in. And I imagine they're kind of like, because obviously Moschino stuff added a new career for us, and so I imagine one of them could like take that on a little bit too, and just all of these three things could mesh: the style influencer and the photography and all these things. And so I imagine like I'm getting their careers confused. I don't remember which one's which. But one of them shoots and the other one designs the outfits for these shoots and like gets the models ready. And like, there's just this tag team little like fashion ready, fashion forward art duo. And I love them. And even though I feel like they don't give off a really like industrial vibe, I still wanted this to be industrial. But to bring personality that I thought matched them into it, I added color. And so you'll notice like the neon signs and things. And I just wanted this to be a really free flowing space. And that's why I didn't add walls. You'll notice I do play with adding kind of walls or something when I'm trying to figure out a workspace for all of the fashion things because I needed somewhere to hang the style board. I think that's what it's called. And I didn't have a wall. I figured it out. But it just, I don't know. I think it looks so good open. And I feel like when you play in it, because I did play in it a little bit, there's just so much going on. And it just feels alive. So you have this like really chic seating area. And also, most of the lighting in here is like photography lighting. I tried to use those spotlights a lot. I also use the chandeliers from Moschino stuff and those industrial lamp hanging pendant lamp things. I can't remember where they're from, but they really fit in here. And also, I feel like my voice sounds really weird, and I don't know why. I'm not sick or anything, so if my voice sounds weird, I'm so sorry. But you'll notice, so there's this whole it's mainly the work area kind of wraps around the back of the warehouse. And then little bits of things bleed into the rest of the space. So there's like cameras everywhere. Like I put a camera in the kitchen and there's clothing everywhere. There's like funky art pieces everywhere and things like that. I will say I didn't fill this space with plants. I really wanted to, but I was like, no, 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 take it back. They don't have time. Although they have great lighting for plants. Do you see those windows? But I imagine people coming over, and then you have, so there's a seating, there's that living room area, which I thought was really chic, and I kept it a little dark. Depending on how you play the game, you might want to add extra lights in there. I don't know. But it was just like this chill space where you could like listen to music and like talk about fashion and all these things, and people could sit. And then I had this big dining table, and for my job we actually do photo shoots sometimes, and one thing is like we like to set out food for the people that we're shooting, so when we're shooting one model then the other models can sit down and like snack or talk to each other, or like just have somewhere comfortable to sit to be on their phones and that kind of thing. And so I was like, okay, they're gonna have a lot of people over, but they're also working, so I put in this big dining room table area. And I was like, now when they have all these people over, they can have a dinner party, or they just have somewhere for people to sit. And I know that's like me being really real world minded and practical, but I think it also makes sense in the space just as like how it's laid out and how I decorated it. And I really like it. When I first placed it there, I was like, well, that looks really random. There's just a giant dining room table for eight right there. But once I put a rug down under it, I think it really solidified the space. I think things on the floor in this space is really how different areas are defined. And I think that's what made things make sense. Also, you'll notice I placed a mannequin in here. I did dress the mannequin before, before I uploaded it to the gallery. You'll see in the screenshots that I dressed her. I put her in the Moschino leather jacket, the black swatch, not the colorful triangle swatch. And then I put her in these, like, I think they're also from Moschino stuff, the little, like, gold mini shorts, and then fishnets and, like, boots. And I think she just looks great. Oh, and, like, these stellar shades. You know? One thing that's interesting, and I probably should have put it on the other side too, is I did put on the outside 2 of the garage doors from City Living, because like, this was a warehouse. There used to be loading docks here, like, let's not kid ourselves, and so that wall with the loading dock, like, the garage doors is their, like, graffiti space. So I imagine that they have artist friends. Like, when you the things you do, you have friends that do similar things, you know? And so I was like, maybe they have friends that come and they let them add a piece of something to the wall. And so there's all this graffiti on the wall. I probably should have on the inside also put garage doors so it made sense, but I'm not mad at it. I also put in kind of like the pavement of what that would be, and then these two little weird, like, huge planter box features. I don't know what I was doing outside. I didn't know. I was like, "What do you don't landscape a warehouse?" Um, but I like it. I think it's cool. I think it has like a really artsy vibe from the outside. I added this fountain area and everything. Oh, and can I just tell you the best part before the speed build ends? I named it Studio M. So I imagine like this is obviously a joint effort and it's both of their spaces, but I imagine that Dela was the one who was like, they were looking for a place and she's like, let's get a warehouse and just renovate it. Let's just do it. And then they find the warehouse and they work on it. And then Dela names it Studio M after Mia. And I just think that's so cute. I know I came up with it, but I think I can still think it's cute. And it's just this warehouse in the middle of this residential area. I'm not offended by that warehouse in the middle of a residential area. I don't know. But I don't know. I think it's fun to play in. I think it's an interesting space. And I added the patio area too. That's one of the other like little renovations I added. But yeah, I really, really like this build. The outside, I had no idea what I was doing. But the inside, I had a very clear like idea of what I wanted to look like. And I think it made it there. But anyway, the screenshots are about to roll through, so I'm going to let you go. Here's crossing my fingers, your fingers, like cross things, hoping that I can get another video out next week, and that hopefully we have some time soon that I can stream so we can catch up with our alien friend Kiddo. But until then, enjoy the screenshots, enjoy the build. As always, it is on the gallery, and I will see you in the next. Oh, what am I doing? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this build. Let me know all your OTP feelings about Dela and Mia. And if you're feeling snazzy, hit that bell notification. I am like all over the place. I will see you in the next video. Bye!